My name's Dudit, so do builds and stuff, and if you're feeling quirky, you're feeling a bit kinky, you've come to the right place, because this build is absolutely quirky as anything. We're going to be featuring Necrochasm and the Cadmus Ridge lancecap for infinite diamond lances, and we're also, like I said, with Necrochasm, the weapon of sorrow, for some really nice, fast, solid damage. On top of that, we are also going to be featuring all the goodness of Whisper of Fissures to get some massive crystal damage as well. We're also going to be pairing things like forbearance as well to get some crazy shatter damage. So infinite diamond lances, infinite freeze, infinite shatter, and some big case thrall explosions with Necrochasm. Stay tuned, I'm going to break it all down. So the first part of the build is a Cadmus Ridge lancecap. Diamond lances create stasis crystal impact when thrown, with more crystals created by hitting bosses and vehicles while using a stasis subclass, and behind your rally barricade. Rapid precision hits and combatant final blows with a stasis weapon creates a diamond lance near you. That obviously works really well with the diamond lance aspect on the Titan. Shatter or defeat targets with stasis abilities or weapons to create stasis lance. Throw the lance to freeze targets, or you can slam it to the ground either way. So as long as you're behind the rally barricade, you're going to keep spawning these in like crazy. The other aspect I like to run is tectonic harvest, because every time you shatter a stasis crystal, you're going to create a stasis shard. This shard gives you melee energy. So this is what the Cadmus Ridge does. As soon as you're behind the barricade, not only are you going to spawn diamond lances anyway from the aspect from getting kills with your stasis abilities and stasis weapons, but as soon as you're behind your rally barricade, you keep doing precision hits. It does have a small cooldown, maybe like 5-6 seconds, something like that, but you can just keep randomly spawning them like that, keep shooting them crystals to shatter them, bit of extra damage, and you can instantly, consistently freeze something, which feels very, very nice, just like so. Really, really good. You can also free a glacier grenade for some extra damage on top of that as well. The whole little Cadmus Ridge exotic does feel pretty nice. It's very, very quirky, but I love it. It feels super, super strong. And just for things like this, you have got sort of infinite control over champions and mages and things like that, because as soon as you're behind your barricade, you can just spawn them crystals, freeze. You've got your glacier grenade, like I said, to do some even more slowing, so you can just literally control targets, do loads of extra damage to them, stop them in the tracks, and you do plenty of nice extra damage with some of the fragments, which we'll go into a bit later. And stasis again is really good for unstoppable and overload, because the slowing effects, but for unstoppables it's really good because the shatter effects does stop unstoppables like so. So that's just another sort of like a string to your bow, another string to your bow. But Whisper of Fissures is a fragment that is an absolute must-have in this build, because it increases damage in the size and the burst of stasis when you destroy a stasis crystal or defeat a frozen target. You get loads and loads of stasis crystals with your glacier grenade, obviously, but then the diamond lance helmet as well is also going to keep spawning you these diamond lances, and then the bonus of that is you're going to get the stasis shards on impact from the exotic trait as well, so it does feel super nice. But Whisper of Fissures is actually really good with anything. Something like forbearance, you could just literally shatter like crazy, do loads of damage, works with all different types of weapons. Forbearance, even Necrochasm, any primary weapon, and you do plenty of damage like so. Really, really good for ad clearance. And I just want to sort of say Stasis is getting a little rework next season, or a little buff, or a little look at, so we'll look forward to that. So I'll just show you a few more clips of this Whisper of Fissures working with various different weapons, Necrochasm, things like that. You do plenty of damage, it clears, adds out very, very nicely. And again, you do get loads of these sort of stasis crystals, either your glacier grenade or from your diamond lances. But where does the Necrochasm fit in? Well, Necrochasm, precision final blows with this weapon trigger a cursed thrall explosion. Final blows with cursed thrall explosions refill the magazine. Obviously, you can pair this with something like forbearance or another grenade launcher, something like that, for even more carnage. But the cursed thrall explosions from the Necrochasm do fit nicely with the Whisper of Fissures, because it's just explosions, and you do get plenty of good explosions. They did actually buff the explosion damage on Necrochasm last week, I believe, so it does feel nice now if you get that crit shot, and it does work really nicely with all the stasis explosions you've going on from Whisper of Fissures like so. But get your glacier grenade down or your diamond lance, and you can just do so much damage. It's crazy. And there's a couple of other fragments we're going to go into in a moment to buff the build out as well, but you sort of get the drift where I'm going. Freeze something blow the crystal up or blow that enemy up. Curse for all explosions, crystal explosions everywhere via the Whisper of Fissures. So it feels super, super nice, very, very quirky, but very, very helpful. Along with Whisper of Fissures, the other fragment to run is Whisper of Rending. This one's absolutely crucial again because primary ammo weapons do increase damage to stasis crystals and frozen targets. So you're going to do extra damage to your stasis crystals and an extra 42% damage to anything that's frozen. So an extra 42% on frozen targets is super, super tasty as well. So this next little clip that I did just shows you sort of everything going together. You've got your diamond lance, which is going to spawn stasis crystals on impact. You've got like a champion around this corner, instantly frozen, crazy, and then you're going to get the curse for all explosions as well, just doing extra damage to all the adds around. It's frozen, you've got your 42% extra damage from rending, you've got all the Whisper of Fissures going on, and you're just instantly freezing, infinitely freezing to take total control. Really, really helpful indeed. Rest of the fragments, Whisper of Chains. While you are near frozen targets or friendly stasis crystal, you take reduced damage from targets. I believe that's a 40% damage reduction, so that one's absolutely a brilliant fragment to run. Whisper of Shards, shattering the stasis crystal, temporarily boosts your grenade recharge rate, and alternatively as well, when you shatter additional stasis crystal, that increases duration. Works really nice with Diamond Lance. Now these two we've already gone over anyway, but we'll just touch on them just to sort of nail it. Whisper of Fissures increases damage in the size and the burst of stasis when you destroy a stasis crystal or frozen target, and then Whisper of Rending for the 42% extra damage. Whisper of Rime is the last fragment. Collecting a stasis shard grants a small amount of overshield, which falls off after 10 seconds. Collecting additional shards adds to the overshield and refreshes the timer. So again, just more sort of gameplay. I was actually using explosive personality with land tank here. That's another good one. Just total ad clearance. I found the whole build very, very useful for ad clearance. And like I said, next season it is getting a bit of a look at is stasis. So things like this could be really good. Some other weapons to pair with this. Obviously, agers scepter is going to work exceptionally well with this one. Really good. Wicked Implement, the Stasis Scout. I did use this a little bit and it does feel really, really nice. But verglas curve is also really, really good with this build because this just adds to the stasis crystals. You're going to create stasis crystals with this exotic bow as well. So this bow is just another solid option for this build. Stasis crystals everywhere, even more smashing effects. So plenty of different options for you to pick from. The only thing left to do now is just go over my mods that I run on my armour and things like that, so stay tuned for that. On my class item, on my mark, I like to run time dilation. Your decaying armour charges a longer duration. I always run this one if I'm running kinetic surges or weapon surges. Reaper, after using your class ability, your next weapon kill spawns an orb, then bomber reduces grenade cooldown whenever you use your class ability. On my legs, 3 kinetic weapon surges, but these can obviously change out to stasis if you run agers or verglas, something like that. So an extra 22% damage. Works really nice for your kinetic weapons. Concussive dampener, always, and I always match what I'm doing at the time. Double arc, void or solar resistance, whatever the activity requires on my arms. Firepower, your grenade final blows create orbs of power. This does work with glacier grenades as long as you encase the enemy before you get the kill. And then on top of that, bolstering detonation or double that up grants class ability when you cause damage with a grenade. Really good mod to run. And then on my helmet, kinetic siphon and also an arc siphon as well. But these can be changed up if you wish, if you're running different weapons, obviously. And then the very last one is a heavy ammo finder, just to keep myself topped up on the heavy ammo. But yep, that's the video, and the Behemoth Super, just to finish off, is pretty strong. You are an absolute unit with this, really good for various different types of champs. Unstoppables, overloads, all the shatter effects, and the slowing effects from stages are absolutely top tier for overloads and unstoppables. I hope you found the video helpful. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching.